What's up, guys? West Coast Picks here, and today I'm going to talk about lockpicking tools on a budget. So a lot of you guys watch my videos and you see things like this pinning mat, this plug follower, what else? These tension wrenches, these kinds of picks. I already put them away, so things like these kinds of shims. So where I get these from, guys, is a multitude of different places, and none of it's very expensive. We'll start with the pinning mat. This is just a piece of clipboard that I've cut to size, and that is just a piece of rubber corrugate matting that I had lying around. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to go to a hardware store or whatever and find a rubber mat that doesn't cost very much. Cut it up and make like 20 of these things for like 10 bucks. I mean, it's not going to cost very much. And they work really good. You see me use mine for months, and I got 2 or 3 of these floating around here, and they work pretty good. For these shims, so this one's pretty dirty because I was using it, but these shims, that's actually not the type that you get for free. The type you get for free are, find some here, are like that one right there, these two. And the reason they're free is because you've already bought them and you just don't realize it. So these come out of anti-theft product stickers. So these are actually stuck to, I don't know, wouldn't be on this can of Tri-Flow, but let's just say it was. And they'd have it stuck on there, they'd stuck on the bottom or something like that. A lot of things with boxes, they like to put them on, but I've actually bought a lock with a casing, had one of these stuck on it too. So just check all your products, guys, all your stuff. Mostly electronics and things that are higher value, but not always. They're pretty much on everything these days. And inside, I've already cut this one open, but you cut it open, and inside this little envelope here, there are 2 shims. Really nice, thin metal shims. And they work perfect for lock shims, guys. They're the right size, they're the right thickness, and everything. So those are essentially free, because I bet you right now if you went looking around your house you'd find some. For these top of the keyway tension wrenches, I got a couple of different thicknesses here. This is a little bit more expensive than what the rest of this stuff is going to be about, but these are just shim stock. So this is a feeler gauge that you get from eBay or Amazon, wherever you like to shop, but you can actually search for the thickness that you like, and you can even make picks out of this stuff too, guys. I think it's a little too extreme to be making picks out of. You got to remove a lot of material, and it's expensive, so you don't really need these to make picks, but a lot of guys do buy rolls of this stuff and make picks. And so you can get whatever gauge that you want. This one is 30 thou, and this one is 50 thou. And it's like 25 bucks a roll for 25 feet, so it's like $1 a foot. And you can see they're, like maybe 6 inches per piece, so you're gonna get like 50 out of a roll for 25 bucks. That's not bad. And then you can either grind these on a grinder like I do, or you can file them down by hand like I used to, and you'll have yourself a nice pry bar top of the keyway. Another thing you can do is save up windshield wiper inserts, or on a nice heavy rainy day you go down to the auto supply store. Here in Canada it's Canadian Tire, but there in the States it's probably like Pep Boys or something like that, and check the bins out in the parking lot there. People will throw away their old wipers when they get new ones, and that's what's inside them, guys. Even these little thin ones here are good for top of the keyway tension wrenches. That's what I use for the pocket pick tension wrench. This is the little ones, but even these bigger, thicker ones are good for picks. And yeah, you just essentially, on a budget, you would use a hand file, and you would just file these down. So grab a file here. If you're hand filing, you really only need 2 files. You need a round and a flat. So this is a Mill Bastard, made by, this is Nicholson. But any brand will do, even the cheap dollar store ones. And essentially I've already filed a little bit off that end, so we'll go here. And you can just, if you're making a hook, hooks are the easiest to make too, and it's really all I ever use, is you can use your round to get your hook profile. You can see I'm taking out a little bit of metal there already. It doesn't take very long. You can clamp it up in a vise if it makes it easier for you. And then you can bring down the profile of the shaft down to the bottom of the hook portion with a flat. And, you know, on the corners at the back and stuff like that, I round it with the flat. And that's essentially how I do that. The same rules apply with fish tape. So this is 12 feet of 22 thousandths high carbon steel. This is what I use for my pocket picks, guys. This is what I use for my regular picks that I make. It's really nice stuff, and I get it for $2 for 12 feet. And let me tell you that this is like the best stuff. It's even better than the shim stock, than the feeler gauge, I think, because it doesn't cost as much. It's not as thick. It doesn't take as much to work it, and it's cheaper. So, you know, bonus for me. If you guys can't find this stuff around, just stick with windshield wiper insert or any other fish tape that you can find that's around the right gauge that you need. This fish tape's usually pretty cheap. What else is there? There is a plug follower. So this plug follower is, you see me use this many times. This is my favorite plug follower. This is just a Sharpie, an old Sharpie that's run out, and I just take my X-Acto knife or utility knife and I cut it right there where the cap meets it, and then I cut it again right about there, and it, you know, clean out the insides and stuff like that, wash it so you don't get ink all over everything, and now you're left with a nice plug follower. This is my favorite plug follower. It's my favorite, and I like it because it tapers down at the back, and when you're in and out of plugs all the time and repinning stuff, I always repin half of the lock from the back first. So say this is the front, I'll put it in and I'll pin the back 3, I'll slide it forward, and then I'll pin the front 3 and then slide it back, and then you're good. Put your plug back in. But as you can see, it tapers down just a little bit, which makes it really easy to get your pins in the back there. And then as you can tell, it's pretty much not an exact fit, but you want it a little bit loose, leaves room for your shims. And yeah, it works really nice for plug follower, and it's just dried up old Sharpie. I mean, you guys probably have one of those lying around, and if not, you can get them from the dollar store for $1, probably $1 for 2 of them or something. They don't have to be Sharpie brand. They just, you know, regular marker. This highlighter, which is dollar store, would work too. You can tell they're the same thickness. It's a very common size. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of money to get started making your own tools. A lot of this stuff can be had for free. A lot of the stuff is, you know, $1 here, $1 there. If you're buying files, you can also get these little ones from the dollar store. You've probably seen these before. And they come like, there's a round, there's a flat, there's a diamond-shaped one. And I use these now for making pins in challenge locks, but you know, it was only $6 for like 8 of these files or something like that in a little package, so you can use those for making your picks. And also for tension wrenches, if you don't do the top of the keyway style, you can just take one of these wiper inserts here and a pair of side cutters. So a pair of side cutters here. We'll do it right here. And you can also do this with that fish tape that I got, that thinner fish tape that I got, and just clip it. And that's how you cut it. You don't need a Dremel or anything, a saw or anything silly like that to cut the lengths that you need. For handles on these kinds of picks, like this one here, and even on this tension wrench. For tension wrenches, you just cut a piece off and bend it over. It's pretty easy. But for handles on these, I just take a piece of heat shrink. And this can be had at your electronic supply store, or a lot of hardware stores carry this. And you just slide it over, heat it on with a lighter, and it shrinks on nice and good. There you go. You can double up on this metal, so you can cut a piece that's the size of your handle and glue it on there, and then slide this on there, so it stiffens up the handle for you. But all it's doing is making it more comfortable to your hand, so it doesn't hurt to use the thing. And I do the same thing for the pry bars, so you got thicker and even thicker heat shrink. So that's pretty much how I do it, guys. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's not really rocket surgery. I can also get a 4-pack of tweezers from the dollar store for like $1.50, and you get 4 tweezers. You get this one, you get the straight ones, you get ones that are normally closed and you squeeze it in the open, and then you get these other ones that are like duckbill that I just clip the ends off of and use them as regular tweezers. But yeah, a lot of cheap stuff for lockpicking. And if you guys know of anything else that's cool like that and cheap and easy to do for lockpicking tools, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Later.